Okay, testing. Alright. Welcome back to part 2 of making my own FNAF fan game type game on Scratch. I mean, as you can see, it's right here. So, so I might have like changed the background for like the title, but I just changed it a bit to make it look more malicious. Should probably fix this part. Should probably fix it. I think I need to change the one for the background, but wait, wrong one. Now see, something's wrong with my mouse. I think I need to charge it. Alright, so now it looks a bit more natural. Alright, so to recap what we did, like the last video, settings, it works. Alright, so now we're gonna start with like, the cutscene part of the game. This is the game area, but like this, we're gonna start with a cutscene. See, so for that to work, well, give me a moment. Sorry, my mouse is on low battery right now, so I'm gonna have to charge it. Luckily, it works while it's charging, so I don't have to stop the whole thing just for. Also, by the way, yeah, again, if there's background noise, that's because, once again, as mentioned in the last video, I have an electric fan right now. Because I know it's December and all, but it doesn't snow here where I live, so yeah. Anyways, so hopefully my mouse looks like it's working faster now. Alright, so back to where we were. When I press play, we're gonna have to start with a cutscene, because sometimes when you're playing a game, it will start with a cutscene. So we'll use a broadcast. Should we use a broadcast? I don't seem to know. Wait, I have an idea. This might take a while, but I think if I do it properly, I can make it work. So we'll label this one as cutscene. Broadcast cutscene. And this one will be our cutscene. It'll play the cutscene. Beginning cutscene. Give me a moment. We'll label it as cutscene number 1. That one. Actually. Scene 1. And what will cutscene 1 have inside of it? The beginning part. Oh yeah, just some small lore dumps and all that. We'll label it as, numbers, because I really don't like giving names much. I mean, I will give it a proper name if it was like the most simplest thing in the world, but since it's not really. Something's wrong with my mouse. How low battery is my mouse? Sorry, I'm a bit complaining right now. When I oh, for sakes, my mouse isn't working. Now I have to undo it. Let me just real quick turn it off. Should work now. Hopefully it'll work now, but I doubt that. Alright, I think it's working now. Alright, so when first green flag. It's starting to annoy me because I really don't want to use like my fingers because I don't. Oh, I don't want to use my fingers for this. Like, honestly, just when I'm literally doing something important, my mouse decides to stop working. Do I need to give you a minute? Is this what? Oh, fuck sakes. I'm using my hands now. You could tell by like the spear things. You can see over here the spear. Yeah, that indicates I'm using my fingers. But what's the difference? Oh, great! Now it's the word. Sometimes my mouse is. And mind you, this is also like a different mouse, mind you, because the first one broke for some reason. It wouldn't connect anymore. Oh, and like the clicking button part was like not working. So like, anyways, so now that I'm restoring, sorry, now we see the cutscene. Is my fingers not working anymore now? Could you imagine your fingers just no longer like are like I always have this like problem where like for some reason, specifically when I'm drawing, I don't have a stylus. I lost that stylus like a year ago, I think. But the thing is, I don't have a stylus, so I use my fingers for drawing, and sometimes, for some reason, my fingerprints won't work for some reason. Like, I could be drawing, I could be so invested in drawing right now, and my fucking fingers won't register on the user interface. Like, I'm being serious. Like, it happened like a few days ago, and like, I had to like check if my like fingerprints were still there. They were, of course. I mean, you can't lose fingerprints. But whatever. Anyways, when I receive cutscene, we'll use it. I'm not sure if we should use an if then statement or an if then else, but we'll use an if then else for now. So when it's cutscene, see when the background is number 3 because because we assign because as established before, like, so this is backdrop number 1. The title, the very first scene, when you press like the green button, it'll show the backdrop number 1, which is our title. If we press settings, that will be it will turn into backdrop number 2. Let me just look. I'm doing it in like the full screen so that it doesn't get dragged, because as I've mentioned before, sometimes when you're like trying to like test things, it'll get like dragged, but only if you have like something set. So but that's only if you don't have anything set, and also if I don't know what. Anyways, so if you press settings, see the backdrop changes to number 2. And if you press play, it shows the number 3, which will be where our cutscene is. So of course we'll have show, and since we don't have a we'll switch to costume 1. But since we don't have anything in there yet, I'm gonna have to like do that. So what will be the first like? So what this cutscene will have at first is a small, like, this type of animation that isn't actually animation, but like the frames are like but no, I'm not gonna animate. It's just gonna be like short cutscene. This is why I like drawing with like when it comes to scratch related projects, I will prefer to draw on my like mouse because this is just some shapes and circles and a few edited points. It shouldn't be that hard. Oh, we can just copy paste. I also I wrote the wrong day to like record this. This is just literally the next day, like the day after I just posted the previous part. Okay, so there are other people in the house, but like ignore them because you know this isn't about them. But I doubt you could hear that part because you know the mouse I have is supposedly like it's supposedly able to hear for like long distance, but that could just be me. Anyway, so this is scene 1 of the cutscene. I'm not gonna try much. Like, give me more. I need to like have a 2.5. I just really because the next scene in this one is a shoe. Give me a moment. I need you to close real quick. Square. Okay, so here's how it's gonna start out. Let me say first. This is where this one scene, and then the second one would be like a shoe, like you're stepping into the premises. I'm contemplating whether I should just put in like an actual design of a shoe, or if give me a moment. Go again with the mouse. Oh dear, I'm just I think I'll just have to resort to, oak. So yeah, anyways, it's nothing much to talk. Yeah, I'm just trying like, oh gosh, what the hell was that? Okay, it doesn't even count because for some reason it wouldn't count. The beam. Oh dear, wait, I have to this way. That's too thick. We'll have to As earlier. It's supposed to look like those fashion designer ones. Oh, whatever. I'll fix it later. Besides, none. I feel like whenever I'm drawing and like scratch, I feel embarrassed because like I can actually draw them, but the problem is I can't draw if it's like related to scratch. And like yeah. As mentioned before, I prefer my drawings by outline. Oh, for heaven's sakes. I just hate it when that happens. Like, honest. You know what? Maybe we don't need this one. Alright, so. What if it just draw ourselves as like a black shade? So that, you know, any distinguishable features wouldn't be that difficult to. Alright, so scene 1 is like just the flooring, of course. Scene 2 is just you stepping on the, you know, typical like walk. I'm not sure how long my mouse is going to be like this, but whatever, I guess. We didn't duplicate number 1 because having to just type it all out is going to get rid of. We're going to give ourselves a hat. Not that it's going to be any discernible. Like, as I mentioned before, the features here are going to be not discernible. So our eyes are just going to be white. So it could be an exact place perfectly. So I'm not really sure about this cutscene. I might just remove it entirely if it doesn't work out the way I want it to work out. Besides, this cutscene is not the final, because like until my mouse is actually charged up again, then I might just change the entire like cutscene. Alright, here's the hard part. Pressing shift. I don't get why it's like this. Give me a moment. For some reason this is like so highlighted. Is it because my mouse is there? Okay, it's because of the mouse is there, my bad. Alright, so what do you have so far? Scene number 1 is just the floor. Scene number 2 is the shoe. And then your face. And then I suppose this is like just where we're going to get like the fucking Lord your hand. Except this time it's actually a diagonal for once. Give me a moment. Wait, undo the circle. Give me a moment. This happens a lot when they're like doing this by hand. And then this one will just be completely white where we just do the lore dumping. I don't know why, but sometimes my the user interface won't like respond to my own taps and touches. Alright, now this is where we do the actual lore dumping. We'll use handwriting because, well, I'll edit like, if somehow I could, I'll just edit it later. Alright, try again. Alright, give me a moment. What do I call this library? This is a library. I forgot to mention this game takes place in a library. Yeah, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but this game takes place in a library, as I've already mentioned like seconds ago. So it takes place in the library because you know that's where most fairy tales are located because they're books actually. Whatever. So basically, the story is that I don't know the book characters are coming to life, specifically fairy tales. So fairy tale characters are coming to life at night in the library, and it's your duty to like stop that because just because fairy tale, because like in context of fairy tale characters, it doesn't always mean that the fairy tale character in question will be a nice one. So like it could be like the big bad wolf or whatever. Speaking of which, oh my gosh, having the Lord Riding Hood will be in the game, just so you know. Not that anyone wanted there, anyways. Let's see. What do we name this one? I don't know. What's a good German name that means absolutely horrifying stuff? I don't give up about this name. Heartlight Library. Whatever, I'll just make it a note. Okay, notes. Oh, by the way, the V button on my keyboard right now isn't working. Won't work sometimes. I don't know why. Is it because I press it too much? I'm not sure. But by the way, you've spent 12 hours. So basically, that's 12 hours. I think. No. No, that's probably just 8 hours. Because, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 9 hours actually. My bad, it is only 9 hours. So basically, you'll be. Basically, 3 extra hours if you go. I think my mouse is working again, but that could just be me. Alright, so how this cutscene is going to work. Alright, so show. Because I'm contemplating if I should have, it's only gonna be one night. That's the demo. Only one night. Anyways, so whatever. So for this to work, we'll switch costume. And then we're going to go through the Scratch sound catalog, the library, go to effects. I didn't even press that, I swear. We'll then go to where's there's a door opening. Oh, it wants me to use the mouse. Door creak. It actually is perfect. We'll then need to choose one more sound. And that'd be door closing. So how else is going to work? I'll then wait 1 second. I didn't play this one. Bas- Then wait 1 more seconds. And then we go back to get, footsteps. There are footsteps in this game, right? Wrong button. Give me a moment. Oh, it's not responding. Oh, gosh. I've been like dragging that thing, trying to drag the Switch costume too for like a few seconds now, and it just wouldn't respond. So let's see how this works out. Okay, the footsteps were a bit long. They're too long. We're gonna have to cut them. So many 1 seconds. Okay. This time we're gonna wait 2 seconds. So we can switch to costume free. And what else do we do for costume free? Costume free is the head, so is there any breathing sounds in this game? In this library, sound library? And then just one more sound. And that being the rip one. The rip. This one. Wait 2 seconds again. Rip. And then 4. Why did it disappear? It disappeared for them. Give you 5 seconds before, hide. And then we'll probably add in like a broadcast part. Alright, so let's see. Oh, I should probably get rid of this. Oh yeah, by the way, I haven't added any like background sounds yet, but I'll do that later. That was just the test. Anyways, play. Sorry, I couldn't hear it. Alright, well that was a terrible cutscene. I think it was a bit too fast. Good, 3 seconds. Oh, so 3 seconds. Let's try this again. I really need to transition that better. Well, that was already terrible. Fix it later. I really want to fix it right now. But my mouse is like not working with me right now, so I'll have to wait. Anyways, let's see. Well, that'll have to do for now. So for this work, let me show. Okay, so this might be a bit annoying to me because like I really want to transition it properly. Okay, so obviously it's a show, but like show it's set goes to 100, and then we get to the change ghost by 5. We'll change this to 20. And then we'll duplicate that, so you know it could be like up to 5. That's because that's for later. So yeah, hopefully that works now. Oh, I have to also switch to the costume one. Alright, let's see if it works now. It works. It's a bit too fast, but like it's a bit too fast, but like it works. Alright, well that's the cutscene. I'll probably change it. Alright, now that we're at the now that the cutscene is over, time to make the office. The thing about the office is that well, not the well, yeah, well, let's take an office, but like, do libraries have offices? Well, no, but like, what they do have is like the main, like, I don't know. I've never been to like, well, I have been to a library, but the thing is, the library in question is always like the one at school. So I've never been to like a library that's like its own building and not part of a school before. So yeah, it just. Alright, so we'll name this one desk. We'll just call it desk because I don't know what to call it. Front desk. Maybe we'll call it front desk. That desk. So for this one, how would I do this one? Because like I'm not kind of used to this, having to change costumes all the time. But cause like, what's just stopping me from just using these as the this is actually pretty difficult now that I think about it. Alright, so we're naming it cutscene. Call it cutscene.1. One. This is gonna take a while. You can also, I'm also gonna make it so you can't actually skip the cutscene. Wait, you should probably also change the backdrop. So yeah. So the project's saved. Now we'll get to the actual game. There's going to be free areas actually. Two. Wait, no, we'll name this one. We'll just rearrange it later. There's 1, 2, and 3. Wait, no. So basically, me changing now, not the next backdrop. This isn't like the good break. This isn't like the proper way of like having to make a FNAF game, but like it's my way. And yeah, I think I'll have to end this one here. But I don't know. I'll probably like make a new one. So I'm just gonna like, alright. So just gonna quickly explain it. So game area 1 will be the main desk area. Game area 2, well, I guess that's like an area close to the desk where you will have to go there. And this, as for game area 3, it's like below your desk. Why? I don't know, but like, it's, trust me, it's going to be like difficult. I'm contemplating to having to put like 4 actually. I mean, I'm gonna make it 4, just like crank up like difficulty. So let me just label these real quick. Label F desk. Let's search for the front desk. Side desk. Under desk. Above. Slash ceiling. I do plan to put like a character on like the ceiling of the game. Yeah, there will be someone on the ceiling. I'm also contemplating whether this should be a double upload day, because you know I really don't like how this kind of turned out, especially because my mouse decided to you know, not do so well today. Alright, so I'll probably, if this does turn out to be a double upload actually, I'll probably just show like the designing of this game area. And so yeah. But just check, because you know, just to see if it actually works. I'll turn this one red. I'll just make it literal red. There, so I know it's actually going to work. Settings, back, play, cutscene, no pause. Yeah, okay, it works. Well, anyways, I think that's all I can do for today. I know this is probably the worst part of like the series, as if this is gonna be a series. Well, considering this is part 2, and perhaps in my opinion the worst one I've ever made so far because of, you know, my own technical difficulties, aka the mouse. Well, that's all for today, I guess. Well, thank you so much for watching to the end. If there were people watching, I checked the last video. It didn't do so well. I mean, as if my videos do well nowadays. Well, today I didn't do much. Just, you know, typical. Well, anyways, goodbye everyone, and thank you. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you probably later if I ever do a double upload. All right, goodbye.